I don't think so. Probably down the road, but I don't think there was anything.
I heard something. I don't know if
it all depends on money. Let's be honest. Yeah.
Depends on
If they do it, it'll probably be a series.
Now, oh, sorry.
I was gonna say if they do it, it'll probably be a series.
Mm-hmm. Be
I
a
wouldn't be mad
series, or eventually, if they decide not to do anything with it, somebody else will pick up the license and they will recreate it again. Because there are a couple of these franchises, that's all they do. They jump from company to company and they're reprocessed again, again, and again. Hence why there are so many Texas Chainsaw Massacre films that just there's no continuity at all, not even a smidgen.
I know they're going to make a series about Carrie.
Carrie? Really? Interesting. Hopefully
that would be interesting as like a mini series.
Speaking of mini series, I gotta say this to you. Fuck you to Firestarter, because that shit was fucking terrible.
Oh,
Firestarter 2
not
was
the original.
It was supposed to like no. Remember that mini series? It was supposed to be like a mini series thing, but it was like a movie.
Like, whoa!
It was fucking terrible.
You're talking about part 2? Part 2, right?
But it was,
that was horrible. Yeah.
That was originally supposed to be a series. They just threw it all into a fucking movie. It was fucking terrible. So fuck you.
They made a Firestarter 2.
Yeah, it was bad.
I think I'm in denial about that one. So,
hi everyone.
Howdy.
Aaron wasn't talking to you.
I'm just waiting.
We just start off with those live. Aaron's like, "Fuck you."
You know what? That might be that may have to be a thing. If I just think of a bad horror movie that just pissed me off, something like this one that just popped in my head, and I gotta mention it. And it's this bullshit right here.
Right there. Yeah.
I mean, that just screams quality, guys.
That movie was trash.
I mean, depending on what kind of bookstore, if I saw that, maybe the photo art would be impressive, but to see something that would follow up Carrie, no.
And the thing is that it's called you see how they labeled it miniseries? No, they didn't. They put it together and made one movie. They never did a miniseries with it.
So you can just see that by itself.
Just getting personal.
So
with guest appearance by John Holmes.
The original Firestarter, it was a fun time. I haven't seen it in years, but it was definitely better than this shit. And then you go to watch this. Okay, this could be cool. Kind of a coolish cover, kind of. Not really, but this shit was fucking terrible.
You watched the remake?
I don't know.
I think we did. I think we reviewed it.
Did we? I can't remember.
I think we reviewed that with this one.
Yeah, so what's the name?
This one stands out so much fucking more because it was so fucking bad. And here's the sad part about it is all I remember is the title. I don't remember anything that happened in the movie. Yeah. I just remember it was bad.
Like the second Venom.
Fucking bad.
Can anybody honestly remember what happened in the second Venom?
I only remember. I remember the fight on that. The last where he's fighting that gray symbiote.
Yeah, Woody Harrelson was story, in it. Anything. Yeah,
I forgot the name of that one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they fucked that up. That was a huge miss.
Everybody said part 3 is good. The ones that seen it already, because you know how other countries get it first and shit.
Or people get the screeners,
test screenings,
test screenings and shit, early screenings, all that. I need a connection like that. Schenectady, wake up and start doing that shit. 518 Capital Region, all up here, and contact Sturdy. I'll review the movies and I'll shout out the theater too.
Don't put that out there because they'll say, "Okay, Aaron, we'll do that. We'll just have to raise your taxes."
No, you ain't raising shit.
Raising my taxes.
You better be raising my pockets too. Just saying. But yeah, fuck that movie though, guys. That was just a terrible movie, and it moved us away from. I did not forget it this time. I'm proud of myself for this because I was gonna say we were starting with Halloween when James was saying he was hearing rumors about a Halloween series. What do you guys think of that? Like, what would you guys think of a Halloween series? And then what other horror, let's say a horror franchise though, would you guys want to see made into a series? And mind you, Friday the 13th is supposed to be happening, so
we're supposed to be doing that.
We'll keep that one off, and it is supposed to be happening, so we'll keep that one off. You don't think any?
Stop it! Come up with your own shit.
But they're not gonna. So it's like, would you rather have a series or a movie? I guess that's a better question. Or does, actually, I feel like it depends on the.
I feel like if they have a series, it's all going to be backstory guaranteed, and it's going to fucking piss me off.
I'm not mad. See, the thing I'm not mad about series though when they do that is because, like, at least with the series, they can go a lot deeper with whatever they want to do with the backstory, with whatever they want to do with character development, especially if it's like open in certain spaces, and then they can still bring it forward to what we know and love with it. Versus like a movie when they do it when you know how when they do the remake and try to throw the backstory in with everything else, it's too rushed. It's too rushed. It's not really drawn out. So
I've said before, I feel sorry for this generation because they get nothing original.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
Paul just
Although
called
I
it. That's
would
the one I
back-
want. 13 Ghosts.
That's good.
yeah,
I will say, I would back a TV show based on John Waters' Pink Flamingos.
Oh wow,
I would back that shit.
who's
I
got
don't
the
even know what it
balls? Calling you out, studios.
Yeah.
video.
I mean, that would be, I mean,
I don't even know what that is.
oh God, you don't? Oh,
No.
dude. Okay. So John Waters is the god of filth right there alone. He's from Baltimore. He was the person who pretty much discovered Divine. Pink Flamingos is it's not the most, but for a long time, it was considered the most audacious film ever. Most famous for Divine at the end of the film actually eating real dog shit.
What
And
the fuck?
it was real.
Yep.
But
Yep.
this is a film that you will also see two people copulate, not necessarily in kind of a really, really cringy manner, but not about the chicken as a cringy, other things. But it involves a chicken. Yeah, you gotta see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Paul, you're a fucking liar. You would not want to see no damn Blood Lake series before a Halloween series.
The whole series will be them water skiing. That's season 1.
Yeah, the movie was the series, kind of like that fucking Firestarter movie. Fuck both those movies.
Shit.
Holy shit! Pink Flamingos. Did this come out in 1972? Comedy horror.
I thought it was in the 80s. Was it 70s?
I thought it was 82 or something like that.
How are they going to comedy horror? They're eating dog. Well, I guess that is funny to some people.
Fine, I'll eat the shit.
Sorry, maybe this is something different.
Hope you got a pay bump.
But
They probably did a lot of bumps.
Was the 80s.
Well, I have to point out to Sir Chad, you look very much like you could be in the Ramsey family.
he was trying to. Boom. This is what we're talking about tonight.
There we go.
See, look at that. Perfect.
Jesus.
Perfect.
How do you say that, Trevor?
Mahakaal.
Mahakaal.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Makaha, makaha, makaha.
Gesundheit. Yes.
This film here was. I'm gonna tell you right now. This is what you get from this. I gotta do a TikTok after this live. But anyway, you get some horror. You get some romance. You get some.
I need my notes.
What is it? Kung fu? Is that what you want to call it? Martial
Yeah.
arts?
You get some form of martial arts.
Some form of martial arts.
Power Rangers.
Fubar arts.
And you get some musical, and it's you get a lot of shit in this movie. You get a lot of shit in this movie.
You even got Michael Jackson.
I want to be Michael Jackson, which was probably one of just a wild character.
There's a lot to point out, but this is something that I found in Indian cinema at the time. This movie also had some very cringy elements.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wrote it
so
down.
you do have to point out the warning. If you're going to watch some of these, women are not necessarily treated in a good way. And it's really weird when somebody attempts to assault someone and it almost always leads to a freaking musical number. So just had to put that out there.
Yeah, that
It's
was
a bit cringy, but hey.
In every song, every girl who sang all sound the same.
Mhm.
I didn't know one person who switched voices. I was like, who's singing?
Oh,
Which
man.
one of it? Like, damn.
just breaking out in the song at any point. I was like, what?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Trevor was not lying when he said they're going to be singing and dancing in this movie out of nowhere. And then go back to the movie like nothing happened.
Well, welcome to your first taste. I know definitely I think you guys have, but as far as James and Sturdy, welcome to your first taste of Bollywood. It is a dream factory like no other. I believe to this day it is still the second largest producer of films in the world.
Wow.
Just behind us, I think. They have been making films since the 1920s. I mean, you got to think about, okay, so India, cinema is to this day still very much part of life. And that means millions upon millions of people are going to see movies on a regular basis.
That's awesome.
It is, and the formula, which you guys are talking about, so it's like, so this has a bit of horror, a lot of really broad comedy, dance, martial arts, must have at least 3.5 musical numbers. It was cinema that took shape in being, let's be as escapist as humanly possible. And that's how that formula came up. And why the film we watched, Mahakaal, was made about 1994. And it is a ripoff of Nightmare on Elm Street. If you did see the picture and you saw the glove, you're right on target. But was kind of the end of the horror run. Horror movies did extraordinarily well, especially in areas that were less metropolitan, which is majority of India, as far back as, the big hit Purana Mandir in 1984. Now, what makes that important to understand anything about Mahakaal is that it was so big because it didn't just take the influence directly for Mahakaal, like, we're going to do Freddy, we're going to do Jason, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Purana Mandir, actually Samadhi is the name of the creature, is really the first like monster for Indian cinema, because there are monsters in Indian folklore, an insane number, Puranas, but US films like the Frankenstein monster and Dracula and all that, they had no cultural reference for that in any of their literature. So that's another reason why it has such a distinct flavor, but you don't see the obvious ripoffs. It's the ripoffs of the popular, or what the Puranas was, or hauntings. All the like Exorcist and demonic and possession films, those are the ones that really influence, because that is in the folklore, that is in the religion and everything. So yeah, welcome to Bollywood, and you either love it or it will drive you crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, because one of the main, Anita, I think her name was, she was
Yeah,
no
Anita.
Nancy.
No.
That's for sure. She was
No,
hot.
she wasn't.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, she did look good. But as far as the character, she was the furthest thing from Nancy Thompson that I've ever seen. In fact, I think the boyfriend saves the day
Yeah.
in the end.
And by the way, what's up the boyfriend obsessed by hugging her knees? He hugged her knees, like he grips her knees and like rubbing his head against her freaking legs.
James, listen.
It was driving me nuts.
He's a leg man, man. You can't, he just, that's the part of his woman's body that he prefers at certain times.
Well, also you got to remember,
cringy.
I'm sorry. Oh, well, sorry, but it's what's in my head. At this time period, definitely, and before, so 1994 would be, you could get away with a lot of gore, but nudity,
I'm out.
no way. So that's why you would have a scene like that in which somebody would be all over somebody's leg, because it just slides by.
Well, that's what, because the waterbed scene that they took for Nightmare 4, she had a towel on.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I was like, hey, you did this backwards.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, Nightmare 4 definitely did that one better. I mean, I cut stuff from the first 4 movies. I don't know about
Yeah.
Yo, they even got they almost had the song exact.
They had the exact same song from the second one. That weird theme. That
Was it?
Second one.
Yeah.
Oh, because I heard a couple notes off. I was like, oh, this is almost exact. I didn't think about part 2.
Yeah, it's that weird one that they only use that one time for part 2.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I can't even think how it goes now, but they played it a couple times. Yeah. Shit. What else was I gonna say?
They didn't have like that scene from like what was it? Day of the Dead? Whenever all the fucking hands came out of the wall.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's full of all kind of references.
Grabbing getting the chick on the floor, and just the. I think what had
they did the dead body dragged through the school, the hallways
in that. Oh yeah. On a different level, but they did do it.
Yeah, different level.
A bag full of cotton candy.
Yeah, well, definitely don't try to look for any plot that really connects to any of the Elm Street series.
2 hours long.
But like a lot of Indian film and a lot of international film at the time, it's just, especially this film, it takes set pieces. So you've got this from this one, this from this one, this from this one. Okay, so we've got enough in this recipe that we're going to unleash this, and people will go, ooh, made after American film, made a lot of money. But we're also going to throw in all kind of crazy stuff, like the Day of the Dead wall. One of the things that I stumbled upon was, I think it's actually almost more of a remake of Michael Suave's The Church than it is Elm Street. It takes all the imagery and stuff from Elm Street, and the imagery and stuff is there from the church, like the shrine and how the almost cross-like thing is used. But that's a demonic film, and it's a weird reference. I mean, Tulsa or Sam Ramsey were definitely doing some homework, because it's no question. You see the shrines in the film, and there's like a 5-year difference. Mahakaal was a film that probably a whole bunch of Ramseys sat around and went, okay, what makes money? Nightmare on Elm Street. Okay, what have we seen that's really cool? And that's how, I think most of these films came to be.
Okay. That makes sense. It's like, okay, this is a popular over there. We'll grab these visuals and that.
And that's why Indian film is so formulaic. I mean, yes, there's a lot of Indian film out there that is super high art, but most of the vernacular cinema has to have music in it to this day. So, when you're dealing with a cinema that does follow a very tight format, it becomes easier to fill in the gaps and actually write a new story. So
why does it have to have music in it?
Yet again, the movies were so big and are still so big in India because families will save up just to go to the cinema as the best thing that happens to them that week. Cinema is power still in India. And what do people who are in extraordinarily bad financial situations want? Pure escapism. So what do? You throw Nightmare on Elm Street at them, but you also throw The Sound of Music. You just want them to have fun. And that's the theory behind Bollywood. And that's why it's so weird.
Okay.
And I think that part too, like I did have fun with this movie, but as like a horror movie, it definitely took away with all the extra stuff they added to it.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, if they just left the horror excuse me, just the horror elements, and say they just 100% focus on the horror elements, I think it could have been a pretty good, actually a good horror, as a horror movie. But like the extra stuff, it's funny and it's silly, and I was confused. as well. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm like, wait, what's going on?
Imagine being a professional editor and sitting through a Bollywood
Oh,
film.
God.
I mean, you'd start having delirium tremors. So, I mean, that's another thing about Bollywood film, and it is you have to love the flavor of it because, yeah, on the low end, 145 minutes, more like almost 3 hours. And a lot of that 3 hours should just be cut out. So unless you like the flavor, it can get a little old after a while.
It's like you have 3 unfinished movies just mixed together in one movie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And one of the things I didn't care for in this, but I wanted, I'd seen this a couple times, but I always, kind of hope it's a little bit more horror, is I felt that the humor was it was fun. It was slightly slapsticky, but I felt there was too much of it. So between the humor and the music, it just seemed, if you're going in looking for a horror film, it almost lives on the peripheral.
Yeah.
So yeah, like
you forget.
This is what to be scared of. This is the gross stuff.
Yeah.
Now just sit through this. But
Like, oh yeah, this is a Freddy movie. I forgot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of like
so
if you take
either love the formula or you don't. So
yeah. It's like you take Grease, Breaking, and Nightmare on Elm Street, and throw it all into a movie. This is what you got.
And again, like I don't
Children of the Corn and Deep Throat.
Hang on. Back up. What did you just say?
Wait, that wasn't good, was it? I just thought about that.
No. That was
No. I just thought about that, and I was like, no, not a good mixture at all. It's a very bad mixture. So, Silver Bullet and Deep. But I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut.
Said sucking the corn in Deep Throat. I was like, wait,
Children of the Corn in Deep Throat. That still don't go together.
It was a poor attempt at humor, but the fact that you read it that way, it made it worth me making that stupid joke.
Sucking the corn in Deep Throat. I'm like, what the hell is Trevor talking about? What is that?
Remember this YouTube, guys? Hey.
Yeah. It's in YouTube. We've been talking for 22 minutes. I think that's been long enough. We can start fucking cussing and shit now. This is not for children. I've said
what are you talking about? In the beginning, you yelled "fuck you" in the first 2 seconds.
Yeah.
YouTube understands why. Listen, those YouTube bots that kind of shadow ban do all that bullshit. Watch Firestarter 2. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about, and then bump me up.
Okay, this Michael Jackson character he comes to like
my man.
multiple sections of this movie.
No, you keep talking about him. I'm gonna get his fit.
Multiple sections of the movies. He's the here's the comedy part. Him like he's friends with the bully, but he does something stupid with the bully. Like he turns on him really quick, wipes a booger on him at one point.
Yep.
But in the beginning he breaks out they're like, "Show us, son." He's like, "Oh," he turns the music on, he starts dancing. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Right in the beginning, we're starting with this. I'm like, okay. Then the peeping Tom scene was funny. It was like they mixed like a little bit of like Three Stooges in there. One guy's peeking, he's like, "Oh, let me look." And they're like, "Oh,"
that's what I said before. There are elements
way.
of Indian cinema that can be a bit cringy because it's like, no, song and dance.
Yeah. Then they get caught, and the girl beats the crap out of them.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. This was a part of this movie right here, people. I have it muted, so no spanky.
This is crazy.
Hey!
Hey!
I'm only gonna show a little bit.
My man, give him his own movie.
Well, that's actually funny you say that because this is late in Ramsey's family's career.
Does he have his own movie?
Oh, this is good. Yeah.
This motherfucker's dancing again. Like that's how I would be if I showed up. Like just imagine you're all going out somewhere. You go and fucking it's just Mick in there just dancing. Everywhere he goes, he just starts fucking dancing like Michael Jackson. Dressed just like
people requested it because he got a part in a movie or something, he said.
Yeah, but he starts doing it when he's supposed to be saving some chick and he's dead. He's like doing all
he called out the Ramseys. He said, "I just got caught."
That's why
he got caught.
About 94, the Ramseys have been like hot for 10 years. All their movies come out. They're major blockbuster successes. So like Hammer Studios, the House of Ramsey, and that's what they used to call it because, you know, they're ripping off Hammer, House of Hammer. That character, flat out, that entire scene, the lead up to him doing his song and dance bit is he got a call back from the Ramseys, and he's going to be this for the Ramseys. So that's one thing about this movie I did really like, was it had hit the point that it was so self-referential and so popular that the audience got it. So, you know, this was considered, you know, by the audience, ooh, wow, you got an audition with the Ramseys. Ooh. So, yeah, I mean, cinema, it's a way of life in India.
Wasn't this their last film?
I think after they got into television for a while. I know that, you know, it was about the mid-90s that, you know, there are Ramseys out there. There are Ramseys. I mean, but besides the fact it's an extraordinarily common name because of British colonialism, but no, there are still Ramseys working nonstop because the Indian film industry is extraordinarily nepotistic. Yeah.
Is there
And
more...
that's why you see like 20 Ramseys, you know, on the credits of this film. And it's not because it's a common name. No, all these mofos are related.
Damn.
You know, somebody's uncle's nephew needed something to do, so they hired him. And yeah.
So that's like it's the Wayans. It's the Wayans of India.
It's basically the Wayans, yeah.
Because they're, I mean,
I'm gonna get you, Ramsey.
Bunch of movies, bunch of talent. Oh shit! Now it's down to like nieces, nephews, kids, grandkids, and holy shit! Yo, we're old.
You just figured that out?
Yeah, like
you're young. You guys are young.
But I'm on the borderline of that era because it's like you're thinking of the things like you mentioned in Living Color earlier, and I'm like, holy shit! And then you're thinking of who was involved in that, and then you're like, some of these motherfuckers got grandkids now. What the fuck? That doesn't make any sense to me. It happened too fast.
I mean, Damon's kid's done pretty well for himself.
Yeah.
Looks just like his dad too.
Yeah. That whole family. Shout out to them. And shout out to the Ramseys too. It's dope.
Oh, by the way, they got a new show coming out.
Who? Wayans?
Wayans. Damon and
Marlon?
Are they is it the what are they doing? Are they doing just like a few episodes of the Wayans brothers, or are they bringing it back?
No, I think it's a whole new show. It's like one of them. It's like a father and son thing, I think.
Yeah, we'll never see him Living Color again.
Oh,
no.
Yeah.
I need to.
That was one of the last great sketch comedy shows.
Yeah.
Oh my
I used
God.
to. Yep. That one I used to watch.
So amazing,
and Mad TV. I used to watch that one too.
I'd throw Robot Chicken in there as an important.
Oh, Robot Chicken! I used to watch.
Yeah, that was a time capsule piece. Also,
that was a fun one. I got to go back and watch through that more though, because I've never watched it like all the way through. I've only seen it. I know it's not one of those shows you have to watch all the way through, but I've only seen it like just watching what is it, Cartoon Network or the night version of that. What was it called that night?
Adult Swim,
Comedy Central. They're early Comedy Central.
Oh, Comedy Central.
No,
too. Yeah.
Adult Chicken.
Adult Swim.
Oh yeah, one of those things.
But it may have came out Comedy Central.
One of them is movie, so you know.
What's going on with us tonight, guys?
we're all over the place, just like this damn movie.
That's true. So it fits. It actually
we're under the influence of Mahakaal.
Yes. And under those circumstances, like our random rambles that we do every episode, it makes the most sense. This episode. Like, because there's honestly times where these song and dance numbers aren't like a 2 minute. This isn't no 2 minute song. Get back to the action. No, this is like first you may get like some random ass monologue, and then it breaks into song and dance, and then gets back to the movie. It's like you have a long ass weird commercial.
It's a full song. It's like someone's like our debut single.
Yo,
it's not like only 30-minute song.
Not only that, but it's like they made up the song on the spot, but everybody knows it. I'm like, how? Like, listen, this is my new hit single, guys. Well, it's not my new hit single. It's my new single. Nobody knows it but me. Sing along. Dance too, because you know the dance.
Like to hear a song about it? Here goes.
My favorite part of this movie though is whenever fucking Michael Jackson Ramsey goes down in the park and he whips out his nunchucks.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that was sudden. Yeah,
that shit came out of nowhere.
Like, this guy is going to be the one that I mean, that's such an obvious joke that you're like, really?
Yeah.
This is pretty lame, but amazingly bizarre at the same time.
Bruce Lee told me not to kick anybody in the stomach, so I kick him in the back.
He's jumping on his back. Like,
you better let Bruce Lee told you that. I don't think you've ever met Bruce Lee, right? Puma is a liar.
What do you say about letting his? I forgot what he said verbatim, but he said, "You better let my legs go, or I'm gonna hurt you or something." The subtitles pissed me off though, because as you did let us know, Trevor, and I believe you said this too, Dave, last week when we were discussing this movie, how it's the white subtitles, but then there's like a lot of white and just light colors back. I'm like, what the fuck? You couldn't give us like the black bar with the white light? Perfect. Give us the black bar with the white letters. Perfect.
Oh, I watched this with no subtitles.
Did you?
So I was totally lost.
Honestly, you really. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I can only imagine.
I don't think it really matters.
I should have.
It probably doesn't really.
You really didn't need him because there was no conversation in this movie really that mattered, and just from the visuals alone, from what you saw, you can kind of tell the story. Like if you're talking about just the Freddy alone, Mahakaal, what is it?
Mahakaal.
Thank you, Mahakaal. If you're just talking about Mahakaal alone,
is that the guy
that part of the movie, not the dance number and everything. That part of the story you can still kind of watch and kind of see what's going on, of course, because you know from the Nightmare on Elm Street series and this down the third. I like I do like how they kind of borrowed the stuff, but I do like how they made it their own in a sense too. Even though the bed scene, the last stuff they did grab, I do like how they still kind of made it their own. And then their look of
so weird.
Right, it was.
Yeah, there was a bunch. The Rick's death scene in 4 was in there. Oh, when they stab him with the pipe in part 3. Yeah, that was another one.
That kid was kicking his ass at the end, though.
Yeah,
he was.
What was that about?
Yo, that kid loves fucking doing that one single kick push. He jumps on you and he kicks you with his legs, like, "Gah." Oh, by the way, the fight scenes. It wasn't a normal fist fight. There was like running one single like Bruce Lee kicks. And all this shit.
On the back like 5 times and like jump on his back and throw him in a fucking.
Did you guys? All right. So with the punches and stuff, did you guys notice like how far away they were from each other?
Oh yeah, way off.
I was just like, this is some of the worst fighting. This is some of the worst, unorganized, most entertaining fight scenes I've ever seen.
It really is.
What was it? New York Ninja. The dude was fighting on roller skates. That is hard to top. The only thing that would have made that better is if they were all right, I'm gonna listen. We all know our guy. We know him. We love him, Mick. We know he's from Jersey, right? Here's something he told me about 2 weeks ago that he had custom made. He didn't tell anybody. He had custom made Tim's roller skates. That's some wild shit. I wish he had a picture of him, but that's Mick. New York Ninja. If New York Ninja had mixed Tim's, roller skating Tim's,
done.
That would have made the movie that much better. I'm just telling you. But if you haven't seen New York Ninja, you guys need to check that movie out because it's ridiculous. It's weird like this, but there's a ninja on roller skates at some point, and that's important. That's very important. I wish I would have seen this when I was a kid. I could have been a ninja on roller skates. That's what I got from that.
Makes you wonder what that influence would have done.
Yeah. You know what?
Totally different life.
Probably something stupid because if I watched a movie around like 12, 13, 14, I had skates at some point. So I'm going to dress up. I'm going to put on some ghetto ninja shit. You know I'm going to do this. If I don't do it, it's going to be my brother Henry or my brother. One of us is going to end up hurt doing something stupid. So it's good. I didn't see
It's going to end in the hospital somehow.
So, maybe not that hurt, but someone's going to be hurt or in trouble or something's going to get broken. Not necessarily on our bodies, but just something in general, which means if it's something in the house, then of course something on our bodies is gonna get broken because I have a yes. I was again. I told you, grew up in the '90s.
If only Julius Carey had roller skates on in The Last Dragon.
This was soft parenting. This was soft parenting back in the day, people. You learned your lesson after you got beat. That was our soft parenting. Not this little, oh no, he threw that in the garbage. Come here, honey, give me a hug. I'll pick it up for you. Come with mommy. No, fuck that. Pick that shit up. That's how you gotta do it. Just helping everybody out there. Like this movie helped us. What did you learn from this movie, James?
I learned it's an experience. That's what I
know. Actually, yeah, you know what? That's fair.
It was a roller coaster.
This is a roundtable question.
Okay.
What did you two learn from this movie?
That some movies aren't made to be watched sober.
That's
the Twilight films taught me that one. So
yeah.
How about you, Dave? What'd you learn?
He tried to learn Hindi.
That it exists.
If you've never heard of it before, that's fair. Trevor, did you learn anything?
As I said, I've seen it a couple times. I do like Bollywood cinema in small doses because it is rather repetitive. The Ramsey horror stuff, and there are a couple other directors that were functioning on the Ramsey was like the A-list stuff. So the B and C stuff is a little bit different, and it's really good. But yet again, it's hard for me to watch a lot of Bollywood. And I'd say my takeaway as far as feeling would be, yeah, if you're going to watch something Bollywood that's horror, don't expect it necessarily be too different, at least in format, to any of the other movies.
Mm-hmm.
So, don't go in being like, oh, this is going to be a totally different ride. No, it's going to be a totally different ride with different faces. It's going to be the same ride.
Same ride with different faces.
So, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Interesting. And what I've learned is always go for your dreams, because they obviously do it in this shit. They obviously do it, and I'm not mad at them either. I'm not mad at them. But seriously, go for your dreams, because someone's going to watch it. And we watched this movie, and I'm not mad I watched it. It was just like, again, I do wish, and I would love to see, actually, is there any, like, more serious tone horror for Bollywood, Trevor, that you know of?
Well, okay,
Bollywood?
so number one, as I said, there is like Sai, one of the great filmmakers of all time, the Apu trilogy. There is, high art filmmaking in India. There's all kind of cinema, but yet again, the formula of entertainment that is Bollywood sticks very much to that. And we had mentioned about how long these movies are. In the United States, when we talk about, movies and movies getting distributed, you want to get them as short as possible because you get to play them again and again and again at a higher rate.
That's true.
In India, you would have something that like 2.5, 3 hours and crowd it because what's something that movie theaters tend to have? That's air conditioning. And if nothing else, you're in a building that doesn't have lights and everything. It's going to be a cool area. And India is not one of those countries where seasons are really tellable. It's hot most of the time. So that yet again goes back into the formula of that's entertainment. That's entertainment. Kick, whack. It's just to make people feel happy.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's fair. Yeah, I'll have to take these in small doses too, then, because I'm like, all right, I don't want to be all happy and dancing watching a horror movie. I want to see someone getting their nipples cut off or something.
Not horror.
I'm sure you could write a song before or after that. So. Oh, such lovely nipples come to thee.
Clip that.
He's making nipple necklaces. It's like collection of nipples instead of ears.
This movie
don't
here is
knock my
bringing all
hobby.
this out. This is funny. This is fun. This movie brought all this shit out. And honestly, if you can find it, and you could, I could, I'll say you could find it on YouTube. And then I forgot the website that James mentioned, but
Caption-Fi.
Caption what?
Caption-Fi.
Fi?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I didn't use it and try it. I don't know exactly how it works, but how I was reading, you put a video what you want to caption, and you pay money, and you create a caption for that video. I don't know what happens after. I don't know if you can post it like on your YouTube page or something. Like, here you go, I made a caption version, people.
There you go. What he said.
So I don't know.
Go to YouTube and watch it, or just watch it the same way Dave did. Because you really just need to see the movie. You don't really need to know.
It's just entertaining.
And you'll see exactly what we're talking about, and then watch it with some people, and then review that, talk about that amongst yourselves. Your conversations are gonna be all over the place, like this movie is, and it all just fits.
Did the Ramseys make the Spider-Man movie too?
I don't think so.
I
think that was because so the Ramseys, they didn't do all horror, but 99% of it was horror.
Right.
The Ramsey company had been around about 10 years before Piranha Mondier in 84. And it's actually funny because they were coming close to actually closing shop. And that movie just blew up, and it became, the Hammer Studios of India. So
more power to them, man.
Now, Dave, I wanted to ask you.
I think there's a Forrest Gump Bollywood movie.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
Forrest Gump?
I mean,
don't.
Forrest
Gump. That's probably what it's called. I don't know.
So, Dave, you said you watched the movie without subtitles or dubbing or anything. Did you at least feel that it was enough of a trippy experience that you would recommend it even that way?
Oh yeah. Subtitles or not, it doesn't matter. I feel like you'll get the same experience. If you've seen the Nightmare movies, you'll be able to put it together.
So I watched it.
The first one in particular.
I watched it with and without subtitles. So the first time I watched it with none. Yeah. The first time I watched it with none. The second time I watched it with the subtitles. I still have no fucking clue I watched.
Subtitles are not an assistance thing here, so
I gotta go back to the way you said just now. Though. You were just like, yeah. I just had to go back and watch it again. I just had to, like a little guilty pleasure. This may fall into that category of like a guilty pleasure. It's just actually this would be extra guilty because it's long. It's 2 hours, and not that 2 hour movies obviously they're not bad, but for something like this, I'm like they could do all this shit in an hour.
I thought I was at the end and I went and took a piss and I came back in. I'm like, fuck, this is still on. Whenever she first gets possessed or whatever, and you see her like smile and like you hear his laugh at the camera. So I went to go take a piss. I thought it was over and I came back and they were fucking dancing again. And I was like, what the fuck just happened? Like,
Yep.
Yeah, that part confused me. She gets possessed, but then all of a sudden he's walking out by himself around the house. So he did the opposite of Freddy in the movies. She had to pull him out. He decided to go out himself. He's like, I'm going to possess you, then I'm going to leave the dream world and come into your house and try to kill you all.
That was some stuff from part 2 with
weird.
So
it was weird.
Yeah.
Did anybody else kind of have trouble at first picking up on the flashback sequence as actually being a flashback sequence?
I didn't even know it was one until now.
Flashback sequence?
So when it takes the concept from Nightmare that so in Nightmare the town has killed the child killer Freddy Krueger. In this film, the cop whose daughter was taken by him and killed in front of him kills Mahakaal.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, it was funny, because you kind of get like, why does he look younger? He looks kind of younger. Oh yeah. So I don't know, but it was weird enough, and I don't want to say that the Ramses were lazy or bad filmmakers, because they were very good filmmakers. You got to understand they're pushing this stuff out right and left, and Mahakaal has some really great lighting and cinematography in it. But there are times that it does feel like it maybe didn't get copy edited enough, and that is something that a lot of the Ramsey films have in common.
Yeah, this could have definitely been cut down about 4 more times.
They have
And what
Randy
is
doing
cut
all the
together
editing,
doesn't
fucking up.
always align great.
I mean, honestly, they could have cut out everything but the horror portions of it, and boom.
They can't. They need that. They're like they cut enough. They're taking away the horror part. They said we got to keep the songs in. We got to keep the songs dancing. We can't touch those.
Put that shit at the end. Like, listen, the real movie's over now. Here's the happy part for everybody. That's your happy ending.
I really thought they were going to bust out a song and dance at the end after they say the day he's dead. I thought they were all going to dance like we did it. We did it.
I was waiting to hear the nursery rhyme.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
they didn't have that in there, did they?
No, I thought they were going to do it.
I wish. Now that you mentioned that,
See, that's the one time a musical maybe kind of would have made sense.
True.
Yeah.
And we're not going to do that.
As a matter of fact, that would have made it. If anytime they did the musicals, anytime he was coming, and boom, here's a musical, and then that way, because it makes, I guess, for over there, it kind of makes it happy fun with the musical portion of it. Kind of takes away from the horror leading up to, and then you go to that part and do the horror section for
film is variety show. Yeah. The movie is I don't see how this movie would exist without all of its weird eccentricities. And the best way I can say that the traditional Bollywood format and style is like, okay, let's make a movie, but with the same programming you would put in a vaudevillian variety show. Like, ooh, horror, ooh, dance, ooh, music, ooh, comedy. Go back to horror, ooh, dance, ooh, the big scene. Yeah, that's kind of, yet again, I don't want to be redundant, but that's either why you love Indian cinema or you hate it.
Yeah.
So
that should be how the chapters are selected too. Comedy, musical, horror.
Comedy, musical, horror. Yeah.
Hey, this is my first taste of Bollywood, so I never expected that.
There is so much out there, and there's so much better than this. So I don't want to. Not saying this is bad, because I do like this film, but there's a lot of really great formulaic Bollywood cinema. Yeah.
This is definitely a trip. This is a trip for you guys, and it's a trip. I think you should definitely, again, if you could find it, and you know what, you can find it. It is on YouTube. If you can find subtitles or not,
like I don't even know what to rate it. I'm so confused. I don't know what to rate this thing.
Okay, all right. You know what? Let's do it like this. Let's do it like this. We'll do. Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna do this. All right, so let's try to separate it. Let's try to cut it down and edit it down some more.
That'll make it too hard.
The horror
3 ratings.
The horror.
You can't, because you'll take the comedy out. Then if it's just based off the horror part, the story is trash. Right. It'll be a fucking one.
To rate it as what you saw. See, for me, for what it was, though, even though it was fun and funny, I'll give it a 4.
Out of 5?
Out of 10.
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right.
He was like, "Damn, what the?"
Well, because I do from negative 10 to positive.
Hey,
so added technically from negative 10 to positive 10, but yeah. James, you got one?
Go 5. Down the middle. Down the middle.
How about you, Trevor?
I'll do 6.5. It's interesting for me because I knew exactly what I was getting in for because I've seen her. It's definitely not the best, but it's fun, and it lives up to what you would expect from Bollywood cinema. So yeah, 6.5. I would recommend it if somebody was into Bollywood already.
Yeah, if you're into Bollywood, definitely give it a look.
This is not the place to necessarily start. So
that was my next question. Where would you start?
Ooh.
I don't even know. I don't even remember what the first one I saw.
Trying to think. Well, I mean, as far as horror, Parada Mandir from '84 is excellent. It's a little shorter. It's by far more plot intensive. If you can find it, because to my knowledge, in the United States, the only subtitled version is the physical version from Mondo Macabro. But that is a great one if you want to start somewhere in Bollywood horror. They're just okay. I mean, as far as Indian cinema, yeah, I mean, it's endless. There's so much stuff. Like, so certain areas of India are kind of known for the type of exploitation cinema they do. So the Ramses were more around the middle to the south, but you went up north, and the big genre that you filled in between the musical numbers and everything was martial arts cinema. There's a whole, I mean, you think there was martial arts in this, whole movies that were just focused on martial arts. Then, because as I said before, India had no reference to Frankenstein, Dracula, the Mummy, the werewolf, all this stuff, but they did have a history of the idea of possession and haunting. But also with that came a lot of influence of Hinduism. So there's also another more to the east side of India. The films that come out of there most are called mythical. So that is actually its own. It is a legitimate genre within Bollywood, and it's the mythical, and that is heavy CGI and very much referential to Hinduism solving whatever. So you have all these wonderful gods and goddesses and everything in really not necessarily good CGI, but those are like the three big genre types as far as made money. So you had your horror, your mythical, and your martial arts. So
Interesting.
Rip off version of Philadelphia with martial arts.
did you say Philadelphia?
I'm dying of AIDS. Kick him in the face.
Kick him in the face.
I didn't even think of that.
Came out of nowhere.
James.
Oh, James. Hey.
What do you rate this one, Dave?
I'll go 4.
4.
Just because I don't like something doesn't mean it's bad, but it's just it's just,
Not everybody's cup of tea by any means.
I couldn't give it a bad score, negative, because it made me laugh.
Yeah, it did make me laugh too.
I will say I didn't think about a single one of my problems the whole time I was watching this. So
Hey,
Yep.
There you go.
it definitely
it'll work.
You're
That
so
was
Ramsey
confused.
mark of quality.
It was good therapy. There you
Yeah.
go. When you're feeling down, you put that in. Keep your mind.
As you try to figure this out, you'll forget how much life sucks.
Exactly.
What do you rate this one, Chad?
I'm gonna go 3.7, just because 37 is my favorite number.
Him and these points
In a row.
Last week it was 6.7. Now it's 3.7. It's 37. Why 37? Why is that your favorite number?
Kevin Smith fan.
Oh yeah.
That's fair.
Okay.
That's fair.
I was about to start it. But I better
Oh,
not.
by the way,
Isn't
Kevin
Clark's
Smith.
like
I didn't know
30
how
this
funny
year?
he is.
He's funny.
He was on my favorite podcast I watch is Are You Garbage, and he was one of the people on it, and he basically see how if he was raised as garbage, like he did garbage shit, trashy shit. They ask questions and he tells you his backstory. If he has sisters, did his whole life story, the stories he was telling that way he did when he was younger and shit. were hilarious. He's pretty funny.
Mm-hmm. He's a good storyteller. He's a talker.
He's a talker.
Yeah, he's a talker. Definitely a talker.
That's a good thing, though. Like, shit. We all know as podcasters, when you have guests or conversations, you want people to talk. But even just listening to them, you don't want people just sitting there. It's like, what the fuck? Why did you do this? Oh shit! You guys, listen. I'll be honest with you. Thursday we're going Raw, and by that, I mean the movie. Not anything crazy. But the French. I had to. Oh man, yeah. So
let's go.
If you want to get Raw with us on Thursday, come join us. It's gonna be in France of all places.
It's a cannibal film, guys, so that might take a little bit of the arousal out of it.
That's extra Raw right there.
That would be considered problematic.
Yeah, probably. I think it's past problematic at that point. It's past toxic. It's like
that puts the wiener in hot dog.
It's past therapy. It's prison time at that point.
It'll be a real version of the Tootsie Roll Pop commercial. How many licks then a bite?
Like, good God, man.
Well, I mean, never mind.
Once
you pop, the fun don't stop. What the fuck? It's this movie. That's the only reason why we're talking filthy like this, too. You can go back to every single episode of Horror Research 30. Matter of fact, I challenge every single person to go back to episode 1 of Horror Research 30 and listen to every single episode and see if we talk dirty or crazy in those past episodes. I'm telling you, it's from this movie. You don't believe me? Go to episode 1 and listen all the way up to this episode today.
Except for the episodes that we've been on, because you've mentioned 2 Girls, 1 Cup and quite a few.
That's 2 girls holding a cup. What's weird about that?
Oh, you know.
Fuck me. Here we go.
I know a million episodes that we went
sharing
on
a milkshake. That's what I was talking about. That's the 2 Girls, 1 Cup I'm talking about.
Yeah, it was a Wendy's Frosty.
They were sharing it was a chocolate peanut butter milkshake with whipped cream on top. Drinking out of a glass cup. See? That's what I was talking about.
And that wasn't Cornell sprinkles.
Peeing into 1 cup with 2 people would be really hard.
Candy corn.
That's what I've been thinking the whole time.
It's candy corn.
It's like, like, okay, great. It's like, but that's like takes a little bit of gymnastics there. So
it's
yeah, I had no cultural reference to what you were talking about. So this is why it's going through my head. So
Trevor, if this was like back in the early 2000s, I would have sent you the video, but now
no, that's okay.
I feel like if you try to look up that video now,
yeah, you're the lucky one and one of the lucky ones that never seen the video.
Yeah, or you're one of the unlucky ones that's never seen the video. Depends on how you look at it.
Yeah.
Huh?
I think you said unlicked.
Yeah, you're
unlucky.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a Freudian slip.
You heard him.
Of course, we talked about Tootsie Roll pots and everything.
We talked about a lot of wild shit.
Not Tootsie Roll pot.
Ooh,
sounds
now we're talking. Now imagine, okay, Tootsie Rolls. Listen, make the lollipop part. That's, of course, that's gonna get you high. But then the center and the middle, that's the strong shit. So like, say the whole lollipop is like. Say the whole lollipop is, I don't know, what's enough milligrams for people here? Like what's a lot of milligrams for people here?
50 milligrams.
50?
That's a lot. 20 milligrams is like a good base. Like a
20 milligrams. 10-20 is what you should do.
100. No, that's people with problems.
50. If you think 50 in a day, there is
I'll have a panic attack if I ate 100.
All right. Well, let's just say 25 to 50, depending on what you get.
If anything, I'm probably at 50 at the moment.
37 milligrams.
There you go. 37 milligrams.
My tolerance went up. I might be at 50 now, but I don't know.
Or 37. Like, how do you know this is 37? It's 37.
Mick eats 1,000.
Listen, man.
No,
he has like 1,000. He has a gummy that's like 1,000 or something. He's
a big dude.
I'm like, damn, man.
And he's really 6'8". He wasn't lying about that.
Yeah.
I seen him in person. People lie about their height all the damn time. Taller they are, the more they lie about their height. So you figure you gotta see it in person. I was gonna challenge him to that. It would have been funny though if you go over there and he was just 5 foot like my height. I'd be like, what the fuck?
I'll be like that commercial if I hit 1,000. I'll melt into my couch.
You would.
Oh my goodness!
For
You
20 hours.
for
Wake up in 20
days.
hours. Like, what the fuck?
Holy shit!
Yeah, I'll see you guys in a couple of days.
Yeah.
You guys in a couple of days.
You might wake up in the next year and area code. So
Oh, that would be some shit. You might have solved world hunger too, though. So you never know. That'd be some shit. Like, I don't know how I did it, guys, but I solved a lot of shit. But you didn't do anything. Oh, well, in my mind, it was peaceful. And with that said, people, we're gonna wrap this one up. Unlike, never mind. You guys know what I'm talking about.
That Raw movie.
Because we're going raw.
Yes, exactly. You can't wrap up if you're going raw like that movie. Thursday, be here at 8 o'clock Eastern. We're talking about
It'll
raw.
be interesting.
can't wrap up if you're.
You can't. You can't wrap up if you're going raw. Listen, you're gonna get some education on horror research 30, people. I'm sorry, it just flows out at times. And that's the words I want to leave you with. That's the message of the episode.
You've heard it here.
You can't go raw. Or what did I say? Yeah, if you wrap it up. That doesn't make sense.
But responsibly, you should.
Depending what you're doing. You know? You take hot dogs at the package, you can cook them. So you got to go raw then.
Just gift wrap it.
Yeah.
Put it in a box.
Eye it up. Yeah. Stick a fork in its ass. So,
Oh, don't do that.
yeah.
Fork, that's the best. I don't know. Some people
Graphic.
Speaking of hot dogs, I recommend watching episode 6 of Sausage Party, Foodtopia.
Oh my goodness!
I couldn't get through 2 episodes.
No, just watch episode 6. Just watch
That's it.
episode 6.
Do it.
Okay.
You will see why after you watch that episode. That's all I'm gonna say. Watch up. You guys too. Watch up. See if you guys watch episode 6 by next Tuesday.
Mhm.
And if we can get on before we get on Mix Show, if we can get there early enough, we can discuss it a little bit before we go live. If it was here, I would say we could talk about it. But
Yeah.
people, make sure you guys go check out the lovely guys over at Video Store Clerks. They're getting ready to go live at 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock. And make sure you guys go over there and hit hashtag raw. So go over there, hashtag raw. And then our guy right here, forward correspondence, Uncle T. Make sure you guys
Thank
go
you,
follow
as
Ambassador
always.
Media. Go follow Ambassador Media. And again, I'm going to keep saying this. I'm going to speak this into existence. Ambassador Media, at some point, he's going to be, the deep dives he does in horror here, and the deep dives he does over there on Ambassador Media, and all that other great stuff he does. Just wait. I'm telling you, just wait. Just wait. There'll be a lot of movie stuff.
Hopefully.
The wheels are turning. See, speaking into existence. He's saying hopefully. I'm saying it's going to happen.
Nope. Well, thank you.
They're going to meet in the middle. It's going to happen. And then, of course, check out myself and James every Saturday at 9 o'clock Eastern Time, except for this one because we're taking it off. For Popcorn and Pints. But you guys can go over there and catch up on Popcorn and Pints over on the YouTube channel. You can go watch episode 6 of Sausage Party and then go check out our review of Sausage Party or whatever other reviews we have on out there. And of course, you can come here every Tuesday and Thursday until next Thursday. Then we're going to be back to just Thursdays. Oh, shit. No, I'm lying. We're just doing next Thursday next week. So we're just going to be here Thursday and then next Thursday next week. So come be here at 8. Watch us do some fun shit. And go watch this movie. How do you say this movie again, Trevor?
Mahakaal.
Oh, I was right in my I was saying it in my mind, but I was like, it's not that, Aaron. But it is. It's Mahakaal. So Mahakaal to all of you. I'll see you in your nightmares. Peace.